Hi everyone, this is Sasha from Women's Fight News. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe. So this fight was kind of announced by Amanda Serrano, I feel like accidentally, and then was officially announced, I think, last week. So Shadasia Green, who is now signed with MVP, so Jake Paul's promotion company. So we'll talk about that first. Was that a signing either of you expected?
Yeah, it kind of was, because knowing Amanda Serrano on social media and who she follows and who she's friends with, she's always backed Shadasia Green right from the beginning. And we all know that obviously Amanda knows Jake very well. So I would imagine that she's had a word with Jake. They've gone through a fight and discussed it. So it didn't come as a huge shock.
Yeah. What about yourself, Rack?
Which is, I remember when Jake Paul and Amanda Serrano came to London. It was in 2021 for the press conference. I remember I did ask Jake, "Do you have any intention of signing any more female fighters moving on in the future and doing the same job that you've done with Amanda?" And he said it's something they're looking into for the future. It's something they're looking into. So I'm not surprised that they've signed another female. I wouldn't have guessed it would have been Shadisa, because I know that there's such a wide talent pool. But looking at it now, yeah, it makes sense. She's good friends with Amanda. She's from Where is she from? She's from New Jersey. She has 11 fights, 11 wins and 10 KOs. If you want to market a female fighter, how easy is it to market that? Also, she's fighting at with the weight. You've got Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, Elin Cederroos floating around that division. It's a division with a few names there for high-profile fights. And yeah, she seems to conduct herself pretty well on social media. So yeah, why not add another female to your roster? Look how well Amanda's doing. Let's bring another one in.
Yeah. I was quite surprised, only because I just wasn't expecting him to sign someone else, I suppose, at this moment in time. I'm glad he has. I hope he signs more, because the job he's done with Amanda's amazing. But yeah, it makes sense that it's her, like you say, because of the relationship she has with Amanda as well. Again, it's quite unfortunate. There's not tons of tape that I've found anyway on Shadasia Green at all. There's little bits, like I've seen a couple of fights, but I say there's not loads of tape. Not a lot of fights obviously go the distance. So there's just not a lot of minutes, I suppose. Like Rack said, she's got 11 wins, 10 of them by knockout. Jake Paul said he's now got the two biggest female punchers signed to him on his roster, which is virtually true, isn't it? There's probably not many more that punch as big as them two in their respective divisions. Now, I was shocked at this fight, though. I don't know if either of you was, but I'm very excited for it. What's your thoughts, Susie?
What a statement fight for her, though.
Yeah.
What a way to say, here I am, this is who I am, than to be fighting on this massive stage like this against Elin Cederroos.
Yeah.
I mean, she must be pretty confident in herself and her abilities to take on Elin like this, in the first fight with MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. The only thing is with Shisa is because she has been knocking everyone out. She's never done a 10-rounder before.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this is for a title. So this is 10-rounder. So it'd be quite interesting to see how she goes. If she doesn't knock her out and then she's going the 10 rounds, she's never done that before. It'd be quite interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, how exciting! I mean, the other thing is that is it a massive jump up for her as well? Too much of a jump up for her, because with this division you've got a lot of elite, like high level elite, and then you've got a lot of low level and not a lot in the middle. So I feel like to go from sort of the beginning fighters to suddenly jump up to Elin Cederroos is still quite a big jump, even though she is super skilled, super puncher. It's quite a big jump.
Yeah, I do agree. Rack, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think out of the whole card, personally, this fight for me is the most intriguing in the crossroads where it's at. Of course, Shadisa, 11-0 prospect. Her last win, she had a decent win over a 30-4 girl. Got the corner retirement. That looks good. And now she's stepping up to a former world champion, Elin Cederroos. And a lot of people don't actually know how good Elin Cederroos is. Of course, she lost to Franchon Cruz. But let's just take a look at what she's done prior to that. on the road, she picked up 2 world titles. She went to Germany, she beat Femke Hermes. She went to New York, and she went to Atlantic City, United States, and beat Alycia in Poland. So she picked up 2 world titles on the road. Do you know how hard that is to do that? Do you know how convincing you have to win? Forget the scorecard saying 95-94 unanimous. No, it wasn't 95-94. It was probably like 98-92. She's gone to a foreign country to her, beat the champion, and brought the belt back. That is a formidable test for Shadisa. If Shadisa can win this fight, she can beat a former unified world champion who won those titles without anyone just handing it to her, then that is definitely a massive statement. And she could definitely then be calling out the names of a Savannah Marshall, a Clarissa Shields next. You know, the more I think about it, I think it does make sense, because we all know that Jake Paul's got a little bit of a back and forth with Clarissa Shields, and wouldn't he love anything more than to have one of his own fighters dethrone or defeat Clarissa Shields? So I could definitely see a storyline being made for that down the line. Shadisa is fighting at super middleweight. She can go down. I'm pretty sure she can probably go down to middleweight. She could fight Clarissa for the middleweight title at some point. But first of all, Elin Cederroos, great fight. If she can get through her, then yeah, we've got a star on our hands.
Yeah, 100%. I was surprised when the fight was announced, but this is the fight that I am probably most excited for. Because I feel like I kind of know how the other fights are possibly going to go. This is the one that I'm really excited for, and it's potentially life-changing for Shadasia Green if she wins this. Like you say, Elin Cederroos, she hasn't been super active. I think that's my issue, where I'm not 100% convinced she might get the win. Obviously, her last fight was against Franchon Cruz DAZN in New York. But if we just go back to that fight, I know she lost. But oh my God, she's tough. She is so tough. Like, her nose was splattered, blood everywhere. And she struggled, I thought, the first half of the fight. And I was like, there's no way it's going to go the distance. And then next thing, she's hitting Franchon with like clean right hands. And like, it was just unreal. But the thing I think for me, and Susie mentioned it before, is we don't know what Shadasia Green's engine's like, but we know what Elin Cederroos' engine's like, because she managed to go the distance and still make it uncomfortable for Franchon at times. And she took a lot of blows and punches. So it's a tough fight. So, I mean, if Shadasia wins, that's a statement. I know she'll be looking to get a stoppage. That'll be another level. But just to get the win, and I think she could do with going 10 rounds, because she needs to know herself what her own engine's like, her own ability. But I'm so excited for this, like really, really. I think is this for like a silver title or so? It's a super middleweight.
WBC silver.
Yeah.
So the winner of this is then in line to fight Franchon Cruz DAZN, then, is what they've come out and said. Now, obviously, we've seen the Elin Cederroos fight, so I want Shadasia Green to win, because for me, that's a huge fight. Green against Franchon Cruz DAZN, that's huge. Then, like what Rax just said, you've got Clarissa Shields. I know Shadasia's already called her out in the past. You've got Savannah Marshall. You know, you've got tons of other girls in that division. But I think Franchon Cruz DAZN will be sitting there hoping Shadasia Green wins, because she's signed to MVP. You get paid well.
Yeah.
You get on a good platform. Franchon Cruz DAZN is probably praying that Shadasia Green gets through this, because it is a big, she's already faced Elin Cederroos, and they waited. We speak about this quite a bit, how long they waited. That fight got cancelled and rearranged, and it was going to be in the bloody street in New York. Like, she doesn't want to risk all that shit again. She wants Shadasia Green to win. She's signed to MVP. She wants a big money and a big fight. So unreal. And she'll really shake up the division as well. That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, totally.
Very, very excited. So yeah, for me, this could be fight of the night. We could see a massive knockout, anything, or we could see an upset, because the presuming Shadasia Green's going to win, and she's obviously favourite going in. But I'm excited for that one, definitely. Does anyone think Cederroos can cause an upset?
I'm not ruling it off. That's the intrigue about this fight. I'm not going to rule it off at all. Cederroos has already gone to 2 backyards and picked up world titles, so this is nothing new to her. She's not going to let the moment or occasion get to her. She's strong, she's training, she's built. there's nothing to rule her out of this fight. So yeah, I wouldn't be 100% surprised if Cederroos would cause. I wouldn't call it an upset. If Cederroos was to walk away with the win, I wouldn't be 100% surprised at that.
Yeah,
I agree. I wouldn't be surprised either. I'm disagree, but wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, my money's on Shadasia Green. Purely, I think Elin Cederroos, her defense isn't great in the sense of her defense is just to absorb a lot of punches, I think, at times. And Green's a massive puncher, like a big, big puncher. So I think that's what she's going to have to be careful of. But yeah, if Cederroos won, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think Shadasia Green would be, and she'd be quite pissed off because it's not the ideal start because as a MVP debut. But for me, yeah, it's the fight of the night potentially. So I'm super excited for that.